Alright, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how to use Photoshop, specifically dealing with different options to select your photo. Now, I've got this picture here of Keanu Reeves sporting a kind of grungy looking beard there. Last time we talked about how to use the rectangular marquee tool, or the square select. You just highlight, delete, and there it goes. If I delete this background layer, you'll see that I get this checkerboard pattern. That's just Photoshop's way of mentioning that it is transparent. There's nothing there, kind of like a window. Now, I can use the rectangular select tool here, the rectangular marquee, but I can also use the one right below it, which is the elliptical marquee tool, kind of like a circle select. Does the exact same thing. I can click and drag and get kind of oval shapes, or if I hold shift, then I will get a perfect circle with my selection. So I'll just do that, and I'll delete that too. Okay. Now, going down the lineup, I've got my lasso tool. That's the next one down here. I've got three different types: lasso, polygonal, and magnetic lasso. The regular lasso tool works kind of like a paintbrush, if you want to think about it that way. You click, draw, and whenever you release your mouse, it will automatically select and connect where you are to where you started, just like that. You can get a whole lot of detail this way. However, it's a lot more precise because you are actually keeping your mouse clicked and depressed, so it will take a little bit more doing. With the polygonal lasso tool, I will get a whole bunch more angles, a lot more geometric looking selections, but it still does a nice job. You just click, move, click, move. With the magnetic lasso tool, it will automatically stick to anywhere that there's a difference in color. So Keanu Reeves' hair versus the green background. You can also click your mouse to force a connection. However, it doesn't always do exactly what you want it to do. If I try to grab his hair, as it gets a little darker down here, it doesn't want to grab all these little individual threads of his wispy hair, and it can kind of get a little messy. We'll talk more about that next time. One more tool down here on the bottom underneath your lasso is the is the magic wand. The magic wand is a pretty powerful tool. I want to make sure you understand how it works. So here's basically what it does. Whenever I click, it's going to select any grouping of that particular color that I've just clicked on, that individual pixel. Think about it this way. If you're looking, I'm going to click up here in the corner and just zoom in so you can see the actual pixels. So right here, I click and it gets me that much. But if I go up towards the top of the screen, I can actually adjust what Photoshop will and will not grab. By right here, I can adjust the tolerance. So if I make the tolerance higher, it will select more, just like that. And if I make it even smaller, it will select much, much less. So whenever we're talking about the selection, just think about where Photoshop is kind of drawing the line between the pixel you clicked on and any surrounding pixels that are close enough to that particular color. That's the math that's going on here. Now, let's say that I selected something here on old Keanu Reeves' face. I'll just delete some stuff here. Let's say that I wanted to have a little bit more precision, right? Something like that. So I could use my lasso tool here, and I can kind of select along the way. But you know what happens? I sneezed and I messed things up. It's just horrible, horrible. So I could start over, or even easier, I can hold down Shift, and you'll see a little plus up here. That little plus allows me to add to my selection. So just like so, and release, and there you go. Now it is added and looks a whole lot nicer. I can keep doing that and select as much as I want. So I can get it all in one big selection without ever having to start over or be perfect the first time. By holding Shift, I can also select more than one space, even if they're not connected. On the flip side, what happens if I wanted to maybe not select something? Maybe I'm going to select here down by Keanu Reeves' tie. So I'll use the polygonal lasso tool. I'm just going to outline the tie real quick, just like this. And whenever I'm done, let's say that accidentally I wasn't paying attention and I selected a whole part of his collar here, just like so. That is not what I wanted. Again, I could start over. Or on my keyboard, if I hold Alt-Option, I can select and subtract from my selection. So I hold that down, click, and drag it out. And there you go. Now I've gone through and subtracted from my overall selection. So it's just that easy. So you have a square selection tool, the rectangular marquee, you have the circle, you have, if you hold shift, it makes it perfect. You have your lasso, your polygonal lasso, your magnetic lasso, your magic wand, and now you know if you hold shift, you can add, if you hold alt option, you can subtract.